So you can see that there are sections of scaffolding dotted around the library, leading up to sections of the roof. They look absolutely climbable. They're just like you find in the real world, just iron bar with no, they're not necessarily. It's not wood, because wood is quite the luxury commodity around here. They're plasteel, which is like their version of like aluminium, cheap. It's like aluminium reinforced steel. It's the basics of the basics that you can get when it comes to armor or anything structural. It works, it's functional, and it's basic and it's cheap. So yeah, take it from there, team. How are you going to approach this?
So the first thing I do is notice me stand rather calm for a moment, and start. You might pick it up some weird energy, depending on your sensitivity to these sorts of things. Some weird energies begin to sort of emanate from me. There's nothing visible per se, but you might feel a presence of some kind. I would like to try and do a psychic test to conceal us, to just give anyone that is within 5 meters of me a sort of a bonus to this stealth as we sort of go where we shouldn't.
Okay, you've got to roll 2 things for me here. I want you to roll a... So obviously roll your test to see if you cast successfully.
Which is my psychic mastery, I assume.
Yep, if you don't remember how to do it, it is on the sheet, or I can walk you through it, so no problem there.
Yeah. So yeah, it is... Yeah, just psychic mastery test, I think.
Yep.
No, I fail massively.
Okay, I'd like you to now roll me a... would it be stealth or would it be cunning? Make me a cunning test. I'm going to roll something secretly. Fucking hell, James.
I'd much rather it was stealth.
You know what? I don't even think I need to roll for this, because I know what the answer's going to be.
Yeah.
I think you've gathered what I was about to do.
Yeah.
Okay.
Perils of
2 5s and a 4 and a 1. Okay, I've got 3 successes. The rough dice wasn't a critical success, so that's fine. An exalted icon, so it's fine. As you do so, one of the sisters of the Sanctified Shield walking past instantly shuts the spell down. She just shuts it down using her Abhor the Witch powers. And she raises her bolt rifle, and she's looking around, and she notices you guys like clustered around each other, and she begins to approach with her rifle pointing at you guys.
I'd like to do a deception to make it appear as though I'm studying the architecture of the building.
Sure. She's eyeing up all 3 of you, so what would the other 2 like to do?
Okay.
And she's approaching quite cautiously. She hasn't said anything yet, because she's just slightly far away, but she's definitely approaching you 3.
I think I'd like to call her over. Make like we are here for a good purpose. So, hey, sister, quick! There was someone over there that we saw this way. That looked like they were trying to steal something over here.
And while he's doing this, Ikavon, what are you doing?
So I'm wondering whether she has any kind of visor or display unit or anything that I might be able to interact with to kind of throw her senses off, to make her second guess what she saw, because I imagine it was almost like energy coming off of him that she saw.
It's like a wit, yeah.
She would have instinctively just sensed something in that direction. She's not.
It's like a spidey sense.
Yeah, basically, it's more of an innate sense built into them through their faith. She wouldn't have had she doesn't have a visor on, by the way. She just has a power sword on her hip and she has a bolt rifle in her hands, and she's got quite short dark hair, and obviously no helmet on because you can see her hair. And she's just making her way over to you guys. Yeah, it's a stupid thing to say, but
I'll tell you what.
She's making her way over to you guys.
Is there just aid actions? Is there anything I can do just to help with the deception that we're setting up here?
Yeah. So as Fabio's calling out, you can beckon her towards you guys as well, and sort of point towards where you think Fabio is saying that someone ran off to steal something. Or so if you roll me a deception test, please.
Oof.
And you as well, Fabio, as well, because obviously this is a deception. And I'll roll her insight. Which would be...
It's going to be good.
Oh, God.
Oh, no. Oh, fucking hell, guys. Oh, no. It's all down to Fabio's deception. All right, it's all down to this insight roll.
Oh, dear. Oh, dear.
So I got 2 successes, so matches. Okay.
Matches. Okay.
Oh no, it doesn't. 2 threes. I got a 1, a 2, and 2 threes. And threes is a fail, isn't it? It's 4, 5, 6. Okay, so she's too busy focused on that there could have been a psyker in her midst, and she'll sort of approach. What do you mean? There was a thief. I sensed something here. I sensed some psychic presence that I managed to dispel.
It was my belt was all lifted away from my person. It was like they were trying to catch my coin away from me. I managed to snatch it back, but it was weird. It was like it just raised into the air, like it was just raised into the air, like weirdly.
Yes, I've never seen anything quite like it. We've never had any sort of trouble like this round here before. Have you lowered the number of sisters that patrol this area lately?
She's still to attention, scanning the horizon for something. Obviously, she's trying to look where this psychic ability came from. No. This is all we need in this area.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but sort of there was something climbing the scaffolding. I saw it going in. Maybe that's where this... You say psychic power. Maybe that's where this thing came from. Maybe they've gone inside.
Roll a deception test, a fresh one, because that is a new lie.
3.
The critical success. She as she goes to call in some backup, she notices the badge of office on Fabio's chest, and she realises it's a badge of office from Enoch. I see a fellow Enoch member of staff. Okay, right. You say your colleague says here that they may have escaped via the roof. Is that correct? She's addressing you, Fabio, because she sees you as the only legitimate member of the ranks, seeing as you have this Enoch badge, and she's from Enoch.
Yes, we do think they most likely escaped via the roof. We saw something very strange, and came to here to take a look at it. And of course, this is the most unusual situation for us. We were only coming to visit the library. We didn't really want to get involved in anyone else's business. But here we are, getting involved in something. This sort of thing, sister, it really does happen to us more often than we would like, especially on a I guess a down day for us when all we're trying to do is visit this library.
For our book.
She doesn't seem to be she doesn't act emotionally to what you're saying at all. She's just listening for any kind of information that spells out any kind of clue. Right. Okay. Team Echo, this is Sister Celeria calling in. Yes, I need immediate aid at the library. We seem to have a rogue psyker in our midst. Yes, apparently onlookers have seen this psyker try and steal items from one of the folk here, and they're making their way towards the roof of the library. If we could have the entire team here, that would be amazing. Thank you. Out. And at this, you see a couple of sisters in the background start running towards the library. You see a couple in the background, down the other side of the street, also suddenly turn and start running towards you. and in the distance you can hear the tracks of a rhino approaching.
Oh, Christ.
And they're all starting to convolute on the library.
Everybody, the whole team at the library. Wow. This is going to be one safe library.
I love it how there can be like necromancy, machines, everything, and we're just like a fucking rhino. What?
Oh no! I'm sorry, Rob. It's not an actual rhino on tracks. It's a form of
It's a tank.
A type of small tank. I'm really sorry, but that's hilarious. Imagining a rhino on tracks. I love it.
It's basically a transport.
Yeah. It's like a transport vehicle. It's like the basic issue tank that they give squads of Sisters of Battle. It could. Well, I say that it could have a bloody great flamer on the top of it for all you guys know.
In which case you see Ikavon's face light up, and then this tank comes around. He's like, "Oh fuck!"
A rhino. Ooh. Cool. Okay. What would you guys like to do in this scenario?
I think it's time to move off round to the front and get in
Fabio, don't you think that maybe we should head inside to investigate, just in case this fiend is causing trouble inside?
Yes, I do think we could be of assistance. Sister, would you escort us through the front door?
Sorry. Yes, certainly. And she's just trying to get rid of you off the streets while she's genuinely concerned about this psycho threat. So she, as she walks up to the entrance, you can see everyone queuing, and they're sort of like, "What the hell is going on?" And a couple of people have left the queue because they're like, "I do not want to be involved with this."
Yeah, no one wants to be involved.
And she absentmindedly just waves you through. Like just waves three of you through past the queue, and as you go in, she turns to the queue and she says, "No more admittance. I'm shutting the doors. This place is being shut down." And she actually shuts the doors behind you.
Wow, that's amazing.
So clearly,
like a midnight viewing at the special VIP pass after dark.
I think we should just find some random person that's inside, knock them out, and then on the way out, pick them back up, take them out, and go, "We found the psyker."
Absolutely, it's a blame game now. So let's hope there isn't there aren't too many work experience.
Okay, cool. So let's see. I've totally lost where I am in this. Right.
So wait, the bit where we don't go through the roof and bribe a sister to let us in.
Yeah. Well,
Yep.
Well, Fabio pointed them to the roof. I was like, "Wait, aren't you meant to be going through the roof?"
Yeah, that's what I was like.
I love it. It's brilliant. Okay. I'd like you to make an awareness roll while I describe this section. So
Is that to make for us to understand how much we likely were to die?
This is just to find out what's going on in the library.
Yeah.
Okay, so inside the vast librarium is barely lit by a few candles, and they're carried by servo skulls. The colossal rows of shelves holding scrolls and tomes of death records stretch endlessly into the darkness above and beyond. Okay, Amonel's still like totally bricking his pants at nearly being caught by
Very much.
a full team of sisters. And a rhino.
I could have taken a few with me.
Okay, so you can hear the commotion outside. The people that are trying to get out of the library are now like just huddled by the door, angrily muttering to each other. A couple people are like looking through one of the small windows on the door, like, "What the hell is going on here?" Like, they obviously don't know what's going on. And some of the administratum team that are in here, the ecclesiarchy and things, they are muttering amongst themselves, like, "What's all this commotion? What's going on?" And so you can see that there are these servo skulls. They're buzzing around. Some of them are carrying candles. Some of them are carrying books. Some are carrying data slates and scrolls. They're all built of various sizes, but for for the majority, most of them are built to either interact with the technology that's in the library, or carry books, or carry quills and scrolls, and they're just scribing whatever anyone is saying in the library. Not necessarily to spy on people, but they're dictating. They're like dictator skulls, basically. So as you walk in, there's several desks and these huge screens with and above it is a big brass sign that says Daedalon Archives. So that's obviously like an information desk that you can go to look anything up that you happen to be looking for.
Yeah, I was going to say I want to find a directory, and that kind of sounds like what I'm looking for. So
yeah, that's absolutely it. It's like a gigantic dusty data screen.
Yeah, so I'll go over to it and just start clicking around on it, get used to the system, and see whether we can find out maybe like archives or personnel. Try to find the dude, the librarian first.
Okay. So what would you type into? I tell you what, Ikavon, if you want to make a tech test to reboot the data slate up again, so you can remember what was on it, so you know what you're looking for, please do that for me now, if you'd like to.
I need to do that. Yep.
Because Ikavon, you might want to check the staff roster for our guy.
Yep. Personnel.
Oh my god, 6 and a critical success. Okay, so you fire up the data slate in your hands, and simultaneously, whilst doing this with your other hand, you're typing away on the database, and you two are looking really impressed. This is the first time you've seen Ikavon in such his element. He is just whirring away with this, and you can see his eyes scanning over, and he's almost basically typing out every keyword that he feels he would need to put into the machine to find information on where you guys need to head next, or who you need to find next.
Okay, personnel. Seems like we got this guy. What was his name again? Then, if I'm looking at you can get up the pad, because
Yeah, you should have the data slate in your Roll20 handouts section.
Oh, yep.
So there's an image, but you can also use the transcript underneath if it
Find the Xenos art. Oh, cool. I just caught on to the fact that I'm obviously Xenos as well, so I get bonuses for stuff.
You're not Xenos, but you have studied under the Ordo Xenos at one point.
Okay, right, yeah.
You're machine. You're like a robot man, basically. Half.
Okay, yeah. My inquisitorial sage let me pick a thingy. I picked
That's right. Yeah. So when you were studying under Tech Priest Philanon, he would have also assigned you to an inquisitor of the Ordo Xenos, who would have given you information on how to seek out the cults of the Xenos cults or alien threats. So yeah.
Okay, so we're looking for a Diomedes. Fuck, I keep finding the Labyrinth building guy. No, I'm looking for personnel. And I'm swiping through all of that. And, and can we find... Is he here? Do we know where his offices is? Has he got a tracker pinpointing his location or anything?
Okay, so as you do that, as you type in Diomedes as a start point to search, a survey skull flies out the back of this console and goes up into the rafters and starts scanning books, and then a second goes up and starts scanning a different section, and then a third and a fourth and a fifth, and the sixth one is the last one to do so. And you can see them rapidly scanning through all these books and things. And it turns out that this is basically the archaic way that they catalogue most things in this place, which is why the building keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger. After a little bit of time, I'd say about 5-10 minutes, the last one returns, and each time has come back with nothing. It can't find anything on Diomedes.
What are you seeing there?
Not getting any hits coming back.
So not personnel. So Maybe. Not personnel. Right.
Search locations. Search.
There's
Servitors?
nothing back for the term Diomedes in any of their. So even if you were to put it into a location or like a person of interest or anything like that, it just comes back negative. You don't receive anything on the term Diomedes. You may have to just revert back to the data slate and try for something else.
So maybe.
Well, I'll just go for it. Search Revelator.
Okay, once again, 1, 2, 3, all 6 float up into the rafters, start scanning down books. And at this time, before they can return, a sister of battle, dressed in seraphim armor, which means she has a jetpack on, comes bursting through the hole in the ceiling where the servo skulls were coming in and out. She has a helm on. She's scanning. She has 2 Inferno pistols in her hands, and I'm not sure Amonel would be totally familiar with an Inferno pistol. Fabio might be, but Ikavon would definitely know that these things just bellow flame. They just bellow flame everywhere, these 2 pistols. And they're attached to like a pack of promethium that's like fitted to her just above her bum, basically just the small of her back. And she blasts down, sending scrolls everywhere. There's just paper, scrolls, data slates. Servo skulls are like bouncing out the way of her. And you can hear the Order Administratum just in an uproar. What is the meaning of this? How dare you enter this sanctum and set all of our work out of control? And she just does not give a fuck. She lands down and she's scanning the room. And she approaches the first person that she sees, and it's a member of the Administratum, a fairly older man. You there? Have you seen anyone approach from the rafters? No, of course not. You've already shut the door and locked us in. What is the meaning of this? And she then goes on to explain the fact that she, one of her sisters outside, had felt the presence and stopped the presence of psychic energy. And the crowd inside actually look pretty fearful now, because a rogue psyker is not something that people want to be exposed to. And she gives a glance around the room, and she says something through her helm. And she says, "Right, we'll be waiting outside. Don't let anyone use any of the other doors. We'll be waiting out front, and we'll vet anyone who comes in and out of this premises." And she just saunters out the door, shoving the folk out of the way. Clearly, whoever this seraphim is, she just doesn't take any shit. And she goes out the front door, slamming it behind, and you can hear her talking to someone outside the door. Some of the Orders of Administratum just sort of shake themselves down, sort of mutter a few words, and begin going back to their work. And you can see servitors picking up scrolls and books and things and starting to instinctively put them back in the places they're meant to be. And servo skulls are trying to get back to normality as well. And there's a small crowd by the doors now, and some of them look visibly shaken. And the servo skulls come back, and the information back on the screen says, Revelator, information redacted. Just says in big, bold green letters, information redacted.
All right.
And then underneath, it says related articles. Galafradus.
Yes. All right.
Okay.
That one.
Yeah, you'd like to find out about that?
Yeah, Galfradus Mausoleum.
Okay, so once again, these 6 little these 6 little servo skulls float up, start scanning the papers, they come back down, and it says, information unavailable, report to Administratum.
That's annoying. Alright, looks like we gotta speak to someone, unfortunately. Unless... Do I reckon there's maybe security protocols that might be able to be bypassed here to access it?
You can certainly give it a go if you want to. You can certainly try something.
I'll do a little tech check just to see whether it's possible. See whether I understand what's going on.
Okay, yeah, make a tech check. 4. Okay. So, as you're fiddling about the controls and everything, things seem to go quite smoothly. You're looking through all the mainframe and working out what quite is going on why the information is unavailable. And you see one line come up in the code that you think, that's a bit strange. I'm not quite sure what that's about. And what it says is, once I find it on the page, I'm stalling for time, it says... Here we go. It says Mort and Thana missing. And what that means to you is you notice that this is in the Servo Skull directory for this particular piece of information. So you realise that the 2 Servo Skulls that would know where to find this information, they're missing. They're not present, basically. Mm-hmm. And it says, and once again, it says report to Administratum.
All right, I'll relay this to everyone. Yeah, it looks like the 2 Servo Skulls that have this information are missing. Seems like someone around here knows what's up, but we gotta talk to people.
Right, okay. Well, I'll go over to the desk to try and speak to someone.
Okay. Yeah, sure, okay. Go to the nearest desk, that's fine. You go over to the desk, and if you'd like to turn to Twitch, you can see who you approach.
Okay, and so is this the person that was talking to the sister that came through the receiver?
No. That was an old man. She looks to be too much of a busybody to even address the sister, but she sees you out of the corner eye, and she does the old headmaster look where she looks down her glasses and the corner of her eye, and she carries on writing, and then she does it again. She says, "Have you queued? Have you been queuing? If you need any assistance, I'd like to point you to the database just over there. Thank you, thanks." And she goes back to writing again.
Archivist, most curious, your database does seem incomplete. We've already searched there, and a few things are amiss. Firstly, we expected to find some information on a person called Diomedes here. Is that one of your members of staff?
Diomedes. Now, that name does ring a bell. See, this disgusting miscreant came into this library only 2 days ago. This disgusting vermin of a man decided he came in posing as an illiterate jerk, and frankly, he probably was illiterate, asking me to read him a prayer book. Well, there I was, reading him from the litanies of the Emperor, of course, and this vile scumbag decided to strike me over the head and confiscate 2 of our servo skulls. The absolute liberty of it. Haven't managed to catch him since. Vermin.
Oh, what a foul creature to do that in such a well-organised and thorough archive such as this. And was he... You don't think he came back today? You don't think he was the psyker that the Sisters of Battle were talking about just then?
Psyker? I wouldn't put it past scum like that. Quite possibly, I would gather. I've already given my description to the Sisters, and they haven't managed to drag him from the shanty town just yet, but I'm sure they will at some point. No, carry on.
Did he show any ID on his way in here? Have you got any record of that?
Well, some of the lower peoples don't carry around anything that is in the form of identity. Here, to be honest with you, your identity doesn't really mean very much, unless, of course, you're high up like myself and my colleagues. But no, he took the twins, Mort and Fanna, and I want them back.
Right. Well, if we do run into the chap, then certainly we shall bring him back here to face the justice he deserves. Now, with the servo skulls, I wonder if they were holding the information we are looking for here. I just searched your database, and I couldn't find the information I was looking for on the Gelfredus family that I wanted. Is that a well-known family around here?
Doesn't really ring a bell. Look, if you really want this information, I can only say that you'd need to find those 2 servo skulls and therefore find Diomedes himself. Other than that, the information could very well be lost at this point. To be honest with you, and she leans in, which is rather uncharacterful of her, and she says, I'm kind of at a loss, and actually it is kind of an embarrassing turn of events. So, although I've told the local enforcement, I haven't actually told the administratum that they're missing yet. So, if it's in your interest and it's in my interest, it would be great if you could get these servo skulls back, and then, of course, I would do anything to help you acquire this data that you need on the family that you speak of.
Yes, I can understand that completely. Well, you have my word. If we do find them, then they'll make their way back here. Well, thank you very much for your help today, Archivist. May the Emperor protect.
The only advice I can really give you is to head into the slums and maybe ask. Some of the people in there do sell repurposed servo skulls. They also sell augmetics as well on the black market, the grey market rather, obviously. You'll find all manner of creatures jittering about there. Maybe you might find him trying to resell them. I'd check there myself, but obviously someone of my stature couldn't be seen in that area. And of course, I would be most grateful to recompensate you on your efforts should you find this pair of servo skulls. And she looks really embarrassed. Like she's never had to really ask someone's help. It's clear to you guys that she hasn't told anyone in the administratum around here what has happened. She feels stupid about it, and she knows that she could actually end up dead if she reports this. So
wow, dead. That's quite a consequence, isn't it?
Yeah.
But
so whether or not she's even bothered to tell the sisters is up to you to believe. But you would know that losing something as 2 important servo skulls that are meant to be part of the library would be, you'd be shot dead for it, and they'd hire someone else.
Damn. Don't fuck around.
No, they don't fuck around.
Okay, so I'll let the others know that data's not there, and we've been advised to go to the slums. So what do we think about heading on into the slums to find this Diomedes? Ask about. What'd you say?
Yeah, sounds good. If they're selling augmented parts down there, it's pretty interesting to me anyway. So I say we pose as some potential buyers and go from there. See what we dig up.
Yeah.
Pardon the pun.
And off we go towards the slums then.
Okay, so as you approach the door to the library, you can see that there are 2 sisters holding bolt rifles, and they're each taking one person and they're moving them out into the front of the door. And you can see as they go to the front of the door, there's a member of the Inquisition standing outside, and she has for all intents and purposes, a witch hunter's brimmed hat on, and she, in her hand, is a condemner crossbow. It's called a condemner cross bolt gun, and it's a bolt gun, but it's ornate, and it has a cross. It looks like it has a crossbow on the top, and she is purposefully scanning and checking out, patting down anyone that's coming through these doors, one by one, patting them down, and whilst you've been chatting to the archivist Abiaba, she's already seen 2 people, and on the 3rd person, as you approach the door, you just hear a bolt gun shot, bang, straight through the head of this person, and one of the sisters drags the bodies to one side and then turns to the queue and says, "Next."
Damn.
Would you like to wait in the queue to leave the door?
I am okay too, but yeah, I am quite happy to queue up to go through. What about you? What about you, Amonel?
Yeah, I'll follow along.
You're going to...
Cool.
I just want to make sure that I've got this clear before I play this out.
Yeah, I don't think I fully understand the ramifications of queuing at the moment.
You're queuing to leave to then be escorted by 2 sisters, to then be interrogated by a high-end member of the Inquisition at gunpoint, to see whether or not you're a psyker or a member or in cahoots with a psyker.
Yeah, I'm not joining that queue.
Yeah, that doesn't sound like that sounds like a shit queue.
I'm an inquisitorial sage. I feel like I'd be okay in there.
Yeah, I'm an inquisitor as well.
Yeah.
So I'm an acolyte inquisitor. So I get the feeling that we may be able to walk through here. Two out of 3 of us escorting Amonel as well. Certainly the badge meant something.
Deputus Administratum Imperium Inquisitor Order Zenos.
I feel like I should give more information about the situation, because
I don't want us to.
If Amonel walks into that queue, she's going to get her face blasted off, basically.
Yes.
Yeah, what I'm saying is, if Amonel joins this queue, he's fucked. Is what I'm saying. And if Amonel joins the queue, because one of the sisters has already seen you 2 with him, you 2 are fucked as well. There's no like question time. It's bullet to the skull.
Yeah.
You're nobody. We don't care about you. You get a bullet to the skull. Problem solved. That's
you're
how
in
psychers are
cahoots with the psyker.
Yeah. That's essentially why shit hit the fan when he tried to cast a spell outside. That's why fucking shit hit the fan.
All right, I'm going to take a look around. Then I'm going to try to find some of the. What's the difference? The lobotomized people. I want to find if they're wandering around and see whether I get an idea where that exit they might have left through might have been.
Absolutely. So you have the in the rafters there was the entrance and exit of the servo skulls to go in and out. That's the entrance that the Seraphim took to literally fly down with her jetpack to check for psychers, because you guys told them that that's how they got into the building.
Yeah.
There's also the Administratum only entrance, which is for the staff, and there's also the automated servitor door as well, which has a keypad, or literally like a chip detector built into it.
Assuming that's not in the same open area, and there's something we could stealthily sort of we could move up to that in a stealthy kind of way. I could probably hack that and get us out of here that way.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's kind of what I tell these guys in character as well.
Okay. Yeah. Sure. I like the sound of that. So. You can make me an investigation check, please, Ikavon, because you're the one that's trying to find this door. You know where it is on the outside. I just want to make sure you know where it is on the inside as well. It's
Sure.
a bit redundant because you're eventually going to find it, but we'll do that anyway.
So I've got 3. Oh, it's 6 if it's going to be relate to any Ordo sort of stuff here. So I'll just roll the 3. All right.
Yep. With a critical success. Wow, you got 2.
I got perfect.
Wow, you got 3 6s.
That is it. That is incredible, isn't it?
Wow. Okay. I'm going to give you a glory point for that, just because I like this entire scenario, and I would just want to test out my glory point system. There you go. Whee! Just because I like where this is going. None of this is in the book, by the way. None of this. So we've had to ad-lib this as we've gone along. Okay. So you pinpoint where the servitor door is because you actually you see a servitor come in from outside and just trundle along on its tracks. It pays you no heed, and it sort of leaves round a corner. It's between. There are several large scroll shelves and bookshelves preventing the common folk from really seeing it from the entrance. And as you approach the door, you can see that this is a rudimentary piece of equipment. You would have no problem in just basically programming it to tell you to open up. So if you'd like to make a tech test to see if you're successful. Yeah, wow. Okay, you're rolling really well today. With blinding speed and effort, you just beep, 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 beep. And as you do this, as the door code is sort of being cracked, you hear an angry voice coming from the doorway. It's just taking far too long. Right, let me inside. I need to inspect everyone inside now. So you can hear boots just storming into the building, and you're like beep 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 beep, and the door just slides open.
Nice. Right, after you.
Yep.
I'm just going to
Right, yeah, let's get the hell out of here.
like a waiter, give my hand and let these guys out, and then follow them.
Yeah, let's get out of here.
Cool. So
No place to be.
the door shuts behind, and as you start walking away from the building back towards the square, you can see that there is the Seraphim sister is still on the roof patrolling, along with the second Seraphim sister, and you can still hear the rattling of the engine of the Rhino at the front entrance. But the 6 sisters, as you come round towards the front, the 6 sisters and the Inquisitor are now inside, angrily questioning people inside and accosting them, because this Inquisitor wants to find this Psyker. That's her single sole purpose in this galaxy, just to find Psykers and put them out of their misery. But you guys have managed to escape that fate, which is brilliant.
Nice.
For the best.
That's very fortunate, I think.
Yeah, tell me about it. Yeah.
So I'll quickly describe what you see. So you're now in what would be, for all intents and purposes, what would be considered as the grey market. And the grey market isn't necessarily like an illegal setup. It's just, there we go. Now, everyone's probably too small, but that'll do, that's fine. The grey market isn't necessarily an illegal setup. What it is just opportunists selling wares. You might find here some decent and honest folk that have managed to grow an array of local fungi. How they would grow them is up to your own sick imaginations, but they would have things like the Daedalus death cap, which has been mentioned before. In someone else mentioned it in one of their streams, so I like the idea of that. The Daedalus death cap, which is like a black-headed mushroom that's used in local stews and soups. There's these gigantic, they're called like elephant ear mushrooms, and they're just these gigantic ones that look like they've just come from the side of like trees, but there are no trees. So where they've come from, once again, is anyone's guess. And other forms of mushrooms as well, and fungi, and there's some sort of weird slime mould that seems to have been cultivated and grown on what looks like to be suspiciously sheets of leather, but some of these have strange tattoos on. So once again, what kind of leather has that come from? So that's just one version of the stalls. There are other stalls that sell augmetics that have obviously come from people looking around, and you can tell where they have come from. And there's also parts of bones. There's trinkets. There's people saying, "Come see me wares. I've got toenails from mortars. I've got fingers. I've got eyeballs. I've got hands." It's just some random guys like screaming at the top of their lungs. But one particular person seems to be shouting a little bit louder than everyone else, and she's like, it's a woman, and she goes, "Saints' toes, French augmetics, and the most powerful prayers to protect you from the hole in the sky." And she points towards the sky, and you can kind of see the edges of like what would be the Eye of Terror, which is the scar created by the chaos and warp that was just flowing through the breach into the sort of the warp realms.
Right.
And she sees you guys, and she sees you as off-worlders because you're in your clothes, aren't you? You're in your normal clothes.
Yeah, we're quite visible as being off-worlders, I'd say.
And you can see that the lights are like shining in her eyes. She's clearly seen you guys as like some off-worlder mugs that she can just mug off. But around here, I will, for the next 30 minutes or so, or 50, however long it takes you to navigate these streets, I'll let you navigate the streets. You can go and talk to some of the characters here. So you can see there is a couple of sisters patrolling. They, for the most part, they know that most of the stuff here could potentially be bullshit, or heresy, but for the sake of peace and for the sake of the people of this planet, they tend to overlook things unless they stand out as specifically like heretical. So if someone was to suddenly be like selling body parts as a food item, or if they were to be selling chaos icons that they've dug up or found or made themselves, then they would just be shot on sight and their tent or shack would be burnt. But for the most part, they tend to just they look out for any trouble. They don't specifically police the people.
Right, so I've gone on to this one here that you can see. So I'm looking at a place that's. We got food here as well. Yeah,
there is food.
Is it not? Yeah. So I'm looking at some things that smell. I've been drawn by the smell here. And you've got some things that are roasting. They're not whole animals. They're bits of things. I've identified it's clearly not human. There's nothing dodgy like that, but neither are they likely to be slabs of cow or recognisable Terran animals either. So I'm over there, and I get chatting to the shopkeep.
You like Bessie's wares? I've got stew here. There's a bit of Grox meat in there, very posh, very fancy. I got that last week off of a shipment. Yeah, business has been booming since I got my hold of that.
And Grox are they're like the livestock of the 40k world. They're these gigantic lizards, and they live off of pretty much anything. They're like pigs but better. They just eat anything. You could set them down on a desert planet and they'd find something to eat. So Grox are the cattle of the Imperium. On Ostia, which is a planet in this system, they herd a lot of them, loads and loads and loads of them, and that's generally speaking the meat, and really the only meat that you'd come across in most markets. To find it here is actually quite uncommon. So she's obviously bragging and putting it out there that she's the only one that happens to have a bit of Grox meat that she's put in this stew.
Lots of mushrooms in there as well. Lots of goodness. You'd love this, you would. It's only 2 creds. Can I get you a bowl?
Yes, I think I'll take one for now, and I have something to ask of you. And if you give me, well, let's say if I like what I hear, then maybe I'll buy 3, 2 for my friends over there. And so I lean in and say, for the other 2, and I'll overpay. I'll pay you 8 for the extra 2. I've been hearing rumours in town of maybe someone who's got a couple of servo skulls around here. Very recent, only got them last day or 2. And well, I look to the left, I look to the right. You can keep a secret, can't you?
Oh, me, dear? Yeah, I wouldn't tell Aglis nothing. Aglis can go to hell. I wouldn't tell her nothing. I'm not a grass. No, I've never gossiped in my life. No, not me. Of course, I'll keep it hush, don't you worry.
You don't seem...
Balmy old woman.
Yeah, and I tell her, does the name Diomedes mean anything to you? Diomedes with these servo skulls?
Oh, Diomedes. Oh, let me think. No, I don't know anything about that, dear. I'm just a humble old cook. Well, Diomedes. Tell you who would know. Oh, young Kalia over there. She knows the lay of the land more than anyone around here. I'm just a subject of my profession. I just cook and produce the finest stews in all the land.
Well, this stew, it certainly does smell good, and if it tastes even half as good as it smells, well, then I'll be full, and I'll be thankful by the end of the night. So you've been really helpful there. You've been so helpful, and I give a 10 creds for 3 stews. Dish out the other 2 for us, dear.
Oh, man of title you are, I see. That's very kind of you. Oh, what a gentleman. Oh, if I was 40 years younger, I tell you. You've set me off all hot enough to keep this stew pot going for weeks.
She's pretty happy with herself. She puts down 3 bowls of stew.
Oh, you can take them to your friends, I tell you. And if they're anything like you, my dear, I'll be seeing them too later on.
She used to start Father Ted.
So good. I'll grab them up, and well, I can't see the others from where I am, so I wonder who they've got talking to. Who have they been talking to, the others?
Yeah, let's get round to them.
Mm-hmm.
Currently, I'm mostly fearful of the giant guard and the giant sister at the bottom.
Oh yeah, ignore that. It's alright, the stream can't see those. Oh, they can when I do that.
No. I would head towards the sort of one further south, sort of where... I can't even Fabio on here. There it is. I'd head slightly further to the south to the guy with the blue roof.
Perfect.
Sort of the centre.
Move yourself down, and we'll make a dialogue.
I do take quite a wide skirting berth of the sisters, so I do take the sort of central path as opposed to the one near the
Cool.
sister.
Sure thing. Yep. So as you approach the stall, you can see that this is a stall of holy relics, and the man he looks like a priest, but obviously because he's selling holy relics, he might not be a priest, if that makes sense. He's robed. He looks quite pious, even though he's just covered in dirt and filth. He's tried his best to look pious, and as you approach, he's like, "All right there, mate. You looking to buy some holy relics and protect yourself from the perils of the warp?"
And what do you know about perils of the warp?
Well, I know if you get caught in them, they ain't no good. I'm telling you, these relics have come from people that have had problems with the warp, haven't they?
Well, they obviously didn't do them much good then.
That's the thing.
maybe they was or wasn't in their hands at that time, if you get what I mean.
How do you know that these relics have power then?
Oh, look at them! Totally clustered in effigies of the Emperor. These things are marvellous.
I mean, if I was to draw and I pick, like, is there like discarded bits of wood or things like that?
So these would have been held by members of the ecclesiarchy and lower members of the ecclesiarchy. So sages such as the two people you spend time with. The relics range from simple wood relics that have been carved quite beautifully, really, just out of wood. Obviously, wood is still quite a commodity.
A rare resource.
Some of them are made with like various metals as well. There doesn't seem to be anything that particularly stands out as an expensive metal, but there are a few at the back that sort of edge towards his more prized collections that he's keeping sort of out of reach of pickpockets and things.
Are they similar to like purity seals and stuff in their sort of, I mean, out of character? Is it that sort of style of looking thing?
For a member of for this guy to have come across a purity seal is pretty rare. Like you'd have to specifically ask him if he had something like that.
Okay,
And,
so that's a slightly higher quality than what he appears to be.
Yeah. He seems to have sort of trinket. Actually, make me an investigation check.
3.
3. Some of these items are actually made from bone, and you get a sense that one of them is giving off. I don't really call it a magical aura because that doesn't really exist. Sort of like a psychic aura. It's very faint, and it's coming from sort of the mid back. But yeah, you get a sense that one of them is giving off a bit of an aura here.
Can I have a rummage to see if I can find this item?
Yeah, you. So as you go to approach, he sort of steps in front. He's like, "Oh, you look with your eyes, not with your hands, friend. Or what is it that you're interested in?" And you can pinpoint the one that it is, and it looks to be made of gold. Whether or not it is gold is another question. But it looks like a shard of bone with a gold ring around it, and a very, very tiny green, sort of green smoothed gem on it. So it's like a polished gem. It's not cut in any way. It's like an oval shape, but it's very tiny. It's about like a thumbnail large, and it's sort of around this shard of bone. And you can't tell what part of bone it is because it's literally just like it's a shard for all intents and purposes. So it's pointing at one end and pointing at the other.
There's that one with the green set gem in it. That one looks intriguing.
Ooh, you like that one, do you? Well, I've got a good price for that one. Yes, you can have that one for 100 creds.
What precisely does it achieve?
Well, they say that's the.
And he's thinking of something up on the spot because he has no fucking clue.
That's the toe bone of a giant, that is. Ever seen a giant, lad? I have. They're massive. Giant, in fact.
It's not the toe bone of a giant.
No. Having seen and read about creatures of this sort of type, one would expect the toe bone to be slightly larger. This, and I'm going to call his bluff, sort of seems more to be possibly the fibia or tibia of possibly a towel-like creature.
Look, mate, I'm not fibbing ya or tibbing ya. That's a giant bone, that is. Look, 100, actually, for you, 120 credits. You're winding me up now.
Excellent. Wonderful. See you later. Clearly not interested in business.
Whoa, friend. Look, maybe I was getting a little bit carried away. Maybe it is giant bone.
maybe it isn't. Who knows, right? I knows. If you want it, you can has it, but for a price. 85 creds.
No, still seems a bit steep for something that clearly isn't giant.
How much would you pay then? Come on, give me a figure. Come on.
Well, I think if we start at a reasonable value of 40 credits,
40,
given that you found it,
40
and if I went and spoke to
Found
the
it.
sisters about how you liberated it.
No. Or don't you bring them in. All right, look, I'll tell you what. If you're going to get lippy like that, I will drop the price ever so slightly. 70 creds.
No, I mean, now I assume you know the librarian over the way.
Oh yeah, a lot of reading me. Cultured I am. Man of culture.
Well, and what would you say the approximate footfall is in the librarian in a given day?
Well, feet fall out of the sky all the time here, don't they?
I'm talking about the general amount of traffic that enters the librarium that are of the sort of persuasive nature in terms of wishing for security and safety from the demons of the warp, of course.
Now listen here, mate. You're talking in your la-di-da, getting all fancy-pantsy with me. You want to buy it, giving you a price. What are you getting at?
Well, as a friend, if you give me a modicum of discount, a little bit of money off what you're saying, then maybe I can put in a good word at the librarian, as I happen to be there tomorrow, and you might find that your custom exponentially gets more in way of, better sales from far less disconcerting customers than myself, ones less careful than mine, who will buy up your relics, as you call them, in droves, I believe.
Listen, I don't know what the fuck you just said, but you're getting on my tits. You come in here with your fancy words, pointing at my objects that I'm trying to sell, wasting my time. Look, final offer. You've driven me to the ends of my sanity with your la-di-da, pompous talk of whatever. 50 creds. You can have it. Get the fuck out of my face. Take the item. 50
That seems
creds.
fair.
Right.
That seems fair, and I hand over the 50 credits.
Okay.
I just wanted to, at the end of that, put a pistol to his face, blow his brains off and walk off with it. But
He has the biggest shit-eating grin on his face. He can, retire happy with this money. Well, he can't.
Yeah.
It would last him, if he didn't get shot the next day, it would last him, a good 2-3 years. But he takes this money for you. And he thinks you're a mug, because he's just assuming that this trinket is absolutely fucking worthless. And he hands it over to you. And he's like, there you go, mate. Nice little giant's toe there for you. You enjoy that. And he sort of gives you a really irritated slap on the back, like everything. But it's quite firm. He's trying to get you to fuck off. And as you hold this item in your hand, you get a sense of calling. And make me a will check, please. Make me a will test.
I would so love to have been able to just be like Pathfinder magic user and just set his whole store on fire. At 2 with a wonderful 1.
Okay. You have no idea what the calling is, but you sense a pull, like a longing or a loss for home. But you just can't grasp it. You'll need to spend some more time trying to attune to this item to figure out where it's from and what its purpose is.
Is there any sort of feat, other than sort of the longing, is there any sort of feeling to it?
A deep sense of sorrow.
Cool. Yeah. That was fun. I like pissing off the locals.
He's just some common schmuck that you just go up and start spouting fancy pants to.
Yeah.
Ikavon,
Of course.
what are you doing at this time?
So I wanted to kind of peruse a few shops to see until I land on one that's cut kind of like augmentations and bits like that. So I'll start up. I'll quaffed by these fellas up here. This is this guard up here.
So you approach this guy, and as you're walking past him and checking out his stall, you can see things like eyeballs that are moving on their own that clearly haven't been deactivated, and parts of arms. Nothing that really stands out to you as being better than what you currently have. These are just like the shit and discarded pieces of augments from the lower echelons, and half of them are. You can tell by the fact that you're quite tech savvy that half of these are like defective and just not even worth their like weight in gold. And as you pass, he sort of stops you, and he's got like a Vox blaster on his mouth, like a Vox recorder, which makes him sound really robotic. And he says, "You there? Any chance you want to sell that mechadendrite that you've got there?"
No chance, buddy. That's if anything, I'm kind of looking for some mores to add to it. But it seems like at least the display wares you got here aren't really cutting it for me. I assume this is to keep in line with the rest, but you got anything else more high quality back there? Maybe something a bit more, something you wouldn't want to leave out on display for shifty hands?
A man of my interests. Yes, come. I'll show you something that I acquired literally 2 days ago. And he opens up the shop, and you don't have to go far in to get to the back of this because it's such a small shanty like lean-to. And he carefully lifts the lid of a crate, and inside are Prometheum incendiary grenades, and they're basically the size of a can of Monster. So they're like this. They're quite big, but these things could blow a hole in the side of a tank. He's like, "I've got 3 of these, and I'm obviously I can't sell them at a price to any old sort, and obviously I don't want them on display because they're rather dangerous. But a man of your tech savviness could probably use one of these. I'd be willing to part with it for a measly fee of 30 creds. Just the one, of course."
Oh, wow. That's, maybe we can make some kind of a deal going on there.
I'll give you all 3 for your mechadendrite. Won't take me 5 minutes to get that off your shoulders.
Nah, I'm more interested. I'll trade creds with you.
He looks really disappointed.
I tell you what, I'll do you 25, but I'm looking for something else as well in the neighborhood. Got a bit of word along the grapevine that a fella rolled up in here with two servitors. Now, have I got that right? Are they servitors or
Servo
thingies?
skulls.
Servo skulls. Yeah. Came around here with 2 servo skulls. A man by the name of Diomedes. Information.
Scumbag.
Yeah. Well, you know where that scumbag resides around here?
I don't, but I would imagine that someone else around here would. I don't really deal with him. He's not really my kind of character. But I'll take you up on the offer on 25 creds for one of these. I kind of need to get rid of him anyway, so yeah, sure. 25 creds and one is yours.
Yeah, I'll take a look around. Who else knows? Who the unsavory sort who works with this piece of crap then?
Your guess is as good as mine. Maybe talk to Kalia. She doesn't necessarily associate herself with him, but she knows the most people in these parts. She's definitely the most social.
Was she some kind of like gang boss around here or something?
Gang boss? No. She's just a stall holder, and he points sort of over that way. Anyway, you best be taking one of these and stowing it somewhere because you can't really be seen with one of these around here.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Cool. Thanks. Bye. And I just walk off.
He's like, excuse me. Our deal.
Cool.
I like it.
So I'm just batting him off as I head over towards this woman person.
Okay. So we'll go on for a little bit longer, just to finish.
And what I'll do is I'll actually just wave over to the other people as I see them kind of wrapping up their shopping.
Cool.
And point over, so we're all kind of grouped up towards this one.
Okay. Yeah, I'll let you all group up and discuss your findings.
I hand over the stew to the other two. There's a bowl. There's a bowl for you. Bowl for you too.
Thank you.
Okay.
And as you look back towards the stall where the bowls came from, an old lady is just sort of looking around, waving in the distance.
Yeah, batty old dear. But this is the cost of information round here. Kalir. Someone named Kalir might just know. Over there. They might know about our missing servitors. Servo skulls. They might know about those skulls. What did you find out?
Well, this this lady over here, Celestra, I believe her name is. She has dealings with Diomedes, the guy we're after. So if anyone's going to know where he is around here, she's the lady.
All right, well.
So you'll make your way over to Kalia, will you?
Kalia.
Cool. So because both of you have kind of, she's just here where I'm pinging with my black ping. So bottom right-ish, yeah, green tent.
Okay.
So as you approach, her eyes widen and glint, and you get the idea that she knew eventually that you'd end up coming over to her stall because she seems to be the most. Her stall contains the most variation of wares. It's like, hiya, you're right. Got saint's toes, fresh augmentics, the most powerful prayers to protect you from the hole in the sky. She's done her routine already, and you've already heard it. She points up to the sky towards the Eye of Terror. Can I help you guys? You look like you're interested in anything and everything that I have on my stall. And she just opens her arms like that, and she looks really impressed with what she's got. And to be honest, some of the stuff she's got is quite interesting. There's slightly higher grade augmetics there as well. There's also a chair with built-in syringe arms and torches and stuff. She's like, look, I can attach these right now if you want. I'm pretty dab hand at doing this. Been doing it for years.
Oh, well, what do you say to that, Amonel?
I think I'll pass on that sort of thing. Not my sort of speed.
Well, Kalir, we're and I drink a little bit of the stew. I slurp a little bit of the stew as I'm talking with her. We're and I lean in a bit closer.
And there's a picture of her.
Oh, let's have a look. Excellent.
Oh shit!
Kalir.
Oh yeah. Cool.
We're looking for a person of interest to us here. A person by the name of Diomedes. We've heard that you're the person in the know, that you'd know him and maybe help us find him.
Well, that scumbag, eh? Yeah, I know of him. Yeah, I probably know where he is, but unfortunately for you and me, friends, information and creds, they go hand in hand.
Well, I'll tell you what. Let me take one of these prayers off your hands, and maybe we'll find it's enough to give us the lowdown where he might be. Pick me out a prayer, something for that hole in the sky. And I look towards Amonel, and as I'm talking about the hole in the sky, and I look back. Yeah, something to protect me from the hole in the sky.
And she sort of chuckles to herself, and she looks amongst you. She's like, "You guys aren't idiots. You don't need one of these. Look. I recognise the common street folk when I see one, and you guys are not it. All I'm asking is for 10 creds in my hands, and I'll send you off on your way. My time's not wasted. Yours isn't wasted. I'm not gonna fuck around here." And she does it in a cheerful and sincere way. She doesn't mean to get rid of you. She's just like, she knows she's not going to bullshit you. And yeah.
And I say, we have an understanding here. And I hand her 15 creds, and I say to her, a bit more than the minimum. You know, not just wear, but we want to do this safely. You know. Want to get enough airtime with him, you know, face to face, so yeah, I imply that the 15 is meant to give us something a bit more, you know. I'm not just asking for he's in that house, but something that is useful, you know.
Sorry. Well, sure, of course. Well, I'll tell you exactly what I know about Diomedes. He likes to play poker. And he plays poker in the... I have to bring it up. I think it's he plays poker in a pub called the Jolly Undertaker. Not far from here, actually. He likes to rub shoulders with some idiot from the nobility of Gilead Prime. I don't know his name, but some prat. Anyway, you'll find him there playing poker and spending his creds and winning creds back. He does it every day. Guy has an eye patch, and his teeth are pretty shitty, so you can't really miss him.
Thank you. And does he walk around armed? Is he likely to have a pistol on him or anything?
Yeah, he will be. What have I seen him with?
That's what the extra was for, you know, keeping us safe.
No.
Know what I mean?
I like you guys. If I was to leave this shitty place, I imagine it would be with you lot. But you know, seems I've thrown my lot down here. But if you do find him, he'll probably have a stub gun on him or stub pistol, something a bit rudimentary. I don't think he's got his hands on anything more substantial than that, if I'm honest with you. Although he is pretty good with his fists, so irregardless of a weapon, if you're going to get into a scrap with him, I'd be careful.
Fair enough. Good to know.
Yeah.
Me and Rob shoot it from 300 metres. Yeah.
Camp out on the roof surrounding the jolly Undertaker, and I'll.
What happened to your dog?
Right, well, you've been most helpful, and, well, I'm sure we'll bump into you again.
Yeah, you too. And, you know, if you find a way off this shithole, give a girl a hand.
Now, we'll let you know.
I'd love to be really grim dark and just pass her a pistol.
You evil bastard. That's the way out. Okay, so you make your way to the Jolly Undertaker, I take it?
That's it, yeah.
Okie dokie, here we go. Welcome to the Jolly Undertaker.
Ooh.
So the bar, although it's quite big here, the bar itself is relatively empty, save for a few members of the Gilead Gravediggers, as you can see at the bar right now. They've finished their shift. They're here just eating a bit of food and having a drink as well. I'd like you all to make me an awareness test, please.
Okay. Let's see.
Oh, Rob getting right in there with an excellent.
Damn! What the hell? My rolls have been shit up.
Ooh, mine not so good.
Okay, that's all enough. You needed a 3, and I'll forget the failure for this. As you enter the bar, you can see Diomedes on the table. He's I don't know how far zoomed out you are, but if you zoom out far enough, you can see my ping just there.
Oh yeah.
That's the one. That's Diomedes there. You can recognise him by the fact that he has quite a loud, annoying, gruff voice. And you can see that he's got his eye patch whenever he turns around and looks around. He's doing that sort of thing where he's playing poker and he wants everyone to know that he's got a good hand. So he's like, yeah, what you gonna bet, eh? What you gonna bet? And lo and behold, you hear a familiar voice reply. Well, Diomedes, I don't think you've got me this time, but who knows? It's Rax Overon.
Rax Overon.
The annoying bastard that tried to take your seats at the very
I was about to say, yeah.
This pub looks very familiar.
I was wondering if the awareness test was like, have we been here before?
Yeah.
And there is two Ogren buddies, bodyguard as well. I can't remember what they're called now. Brick was one of them, and I can't remember what the other one was. There they are, all sat around the table. And as you walk in, Rax actually spots you. Well, look what fucking dragged it in. And we'll leave it there for tonight.